Oh, wow. We went live a few seconds early. Good deal. I didn't realize. I thought it was waiting for me to start the stream. But hey, everybody, is this thing on? Good thing I wasn't picking my nose or anything, right? Now, I've been having technical difficulties all day, but we solved all those problems, and then of course I turned the computer off. So I'm hoping that those problems stay solved. But how is everybody? Welcome to the 507th video of Farpoint Farms, and we're here to celebrate big milestone, over 8 million views, I think we get about 1.2 million minutes of watch time every month, which is just crazy. That's a lot of minutes in people's lives that they take to say, hey, let me check out this dude's channel. And today was an interesting day. We did something very different. I apologize for all the technical difficulties that occurred up until we finally got it figured out. If you were able to stick through till the end, it was cool. I'm kind of happy with it. I hope that you will take some time and maybe watch, and you can fast forward. But check out the live feed that I left public, the one where I'm working on cars. I think I labeled it My Life live streamed or something like that, because I want y'all to see if that's something you want me to do more often. You know, sitting here and doing these live feeds is time that I have to carve out of my life, just like all of you, to come visit me, which is awesome. But if there was a way that I could get together with you while I'm working, well, that's even better. So I'm hoping that that's something that, although it was a little different, I don't really think I've ever seen anything quite like it on YouTube. Maybe it's something that you guys would be into. And if it is, then maybe I'll invest in equipment to make that a better gig, a better deal. So let me know, man. So Joe C saying it's a slow day in Nebraska. And Charlie Porch is chiming in. Hello again, my friend. Anamorphic half. Now I get why you're saying tap, is this thing on? Because it was on, right? B. Rad Wilson, hello from Ohio. Hello, my friend. Super B, good to see you in here, man. How's the build going, Super B? I haven't seen your stuff in my feeds for some reason. Did you get get everything finished up on your awesome shed, your Radio Shack, your man cave, all that stuff? So, Rad B. Wilson's asking, what time does lower sideband 38 get rocking at night? So it depends on Skip, but on a Saturday night here, about 9 o'clock, man, you can turn stuff on, and I got 2 channels that have locals on it, and of course there's always Skip, sometimes 26, sometimes 16. Obviously the Super Bowl channels if you really want to play with fire, and then 38, 39, 40. So yeah, you know, pretty much after a regular folk finish dinner and the kids go to bed, they'll come out and play with their radio gear, which is always fun, right? Scott Thurlow, hello, my friend. Hello from Central Maine. He's saying, how is Maine, man? You know, you have no idea how close I came to purchasing 50 acres and two dilapidated mobile homes up there. It was an apple orchard farm that we almost bought to do our homesteading, and and then this thing came along. But yeah, real close to taking a left instead of a right. So pretty cool, man. Always wonder about Maine. Super B saying the floor's not finished yet. Update coming soon. Right on, brother. Radby Wilson, on your 980, did you lower the dead key for your amp? I have never opened the 980 up, and I don't run amps, so there's your answer. I run the stock, I guess it's 12 watts on sideband and 4 watts on AM, but I do have a really cool Max 2000 antenna, so that is where I might get out and reach out a little farther than somebody with just a mobile antenna in their car would get out, but I'm not against amps or for amps, so you're welcome to do whatever you like there, my friends. You are the reason I got a CB with sideband. Right on. Well, dude, sideband is where the real fun is. I love it. You know, it's where it's like ham, but a little more Wild West like than ham, and I like that about it. In fact, ham can be kind of stiff a little bit sometimes, especially if you run into guys who kind of squat on a particular channel, but CB, on the other hand, they try that trick too, but it just devolves into some pretty interesting conversations. And of course, every once in a while, somebody gets on there drunk and maybe ruins the evening, but most of the time, people have a really good time, and you make a lot of friends. I've made a lot of friends. And speaking of friends, here's Mower Junkie. How you doing, brother? Good evening. Woohoo! 28K and 500 videos. Mower Junkie. It was another one of those videos where I watched it on the TV set, so I didn't get a chance to comment on it. But I was talking to Dallas Rife yesterday, actually last night, and we were both talking about your latest mower video. it is criminal that you do not get more views on the best videos you put out. Not to say that the CB stuff is not cool and awesome, but being that I love mowers and love to play with, soup stuff up and all that, I just find those to be the best, the funniest for me anyway. But that is awesome, man. Thank you so much for the kind words. And I have a feeling, looking at the numbers on your CB videos, you will not be too far behind me as far as that giant uptick, that giant curve that shoots you into the next level. And you deserve it, my friend. You're a good guy. So right on, brother. 9mm AR man, another good fan here at the channel. Hello, I'm here. The important conversations can now start. All right, we were waiting. We've been waiting for you. So welcome, thank you. Next time, please try not to be late. I'm gonna mark you as tardy, okay? David G, hello from New Hampshire. David G and I think, are the only two individuals to have actually gotten together in person, other than my neighbor. But David G and I met at Raleigh Hamfest, which was unfortunately canceled this year before he moved up to New Hampshire. Glad to see you in here, my friend. I know usually you watch this on TV, so I won't feel bad if I don't hear from you again this evening. But David G, if you can remember, before you go and sit in the TV room there, do you remember what the first video of mine you saw is? Because I'm kind of curious from a lot of people. A lot of people are just saying it was a CB video, but if anybody remembers the exact video, I'm kind of curious to hear those things tonight. That's just been on my mind. What drew you in, Hey, Dallas, good to see you, man. We were talking last night on the phone. Dallas is sending me some really cool stuff. In fact, Dallas, I actually moved some stuff around today, so it's going to be awesome. So, you ready to hear my first Farpoint farm story? I certainly am. Let's see here. Had to reload the page. Unfortunately, ad blocker was blocking the chat window. Huh, interesting. I had no idea that would do that. Robert Clark, good to see you, brother. All right, let's hear it. Dallas Rife wants to hear. I want to hear the first story of what drew you into Farpoint Farms, this fine little corner of the internet that somehow you guys have helped me create. Dusty Bottoms here for the 500. Dusty and I work together. He is a co-worker of mine and a good friend, and that's a very inside joke and a very dirty one, but yes, brother. I'm not even going to say that out loud because, that's just bad. Oh, yeah, all right. So Mower Junkie saying how to make your riding mower quieter was the first one I watched. Yeah, you know how much heck I have received over that video. People who actually tried. I mean, it's I don't have like a sound meter, so first thing I got criticized for on that, and again, this was like one of the first 4 videos I ever made, was people were ranting and raving that I never started the thing. And to be honest with you, I was working on it. I wasn't ready to start it, but it never even occurred to me that would matter. I guess I just figured people would take me at my word. Apparently not. And I mean, it is the internet, so people don't tell the truth all the time. But yeah, that was a good video. It actually is a big performer even to this day. I mean, that was shot, by the way, Mower Junkie, that was shot on a VHS camcorder. So that's what I started this channel with. And it wasn't all that many years ago, but that's what we had. That's what I had. And I had a VHS camcorder, and I had a way to digitize it. Like, we bought a little thing that plugged into the computer that allowed me to copy the tape over. And then, of course, that broke really quickly. And then I got a 8mm camera at a yard sale for like $5. It was a really nice camera. And then that tipped over and broke too. So after that, I used my my wife's old cell phone because it took like 720p video. And then she got a new cell phone, and I got her old one again. And so then it was 1080, and that was all the way up until this year when I finally bought a genuine, real camera. So yeah, it's amazing. You don't apparently have to have the highest level of studio equipment to pull this off, although I'm sure it helps. And my video editing skills and my special effects or whatever you want to call it, I don't know any of that stuff. So I've been working on it for years though. Mower Junkie Nice, I still have my VHS camera. Yeah, I got rid of it. It was like a Panasonic or something like that, and of course it dropped and it took a pretty hard hit. Just did not work right after that, so we got rid of it. I think it wouldn't focus or something. I can't remember exactly what, but it was one of those things where I was trying to find a solution, and then I came across that other one at the yard sale, got it, and immediately went back to making videos, and then that broke, and it was like a year, maybe a year and a half before I made another video. and then I've been making them, man, 2 or 3 a week ever since, man. And again, it pays off, I guess. I mean, it's really nice to have this kind of, I know there's people out there with multiple millions of subscribers, but to me, to have 28,000 of you following along, and the people that show up for these live shows is pretty cool, man. Super Bean saying, don't remember if it was the Uniden PC78XL video, the Forgotten Twin, or CB radio install without a separate antenna. Oh, the antenna combiner, yeah. Oh, wow, that's weird. So that is that antenna combiner is kind of like something that's been around forever, but it's not very good. But if you're looking for like an ultra clean install where you're not going to have any visible antenna, but you do want to still have CB, and it'll get you a mile maybe on a good day, but it's the SWR is high, so it can really put a hurting on your radio. Even if you tune it, usually you just don't get it perfect. And now you think about modern cars that don't even have a metal antenna at all. It's just those little stubs that stick out. I wonder how it would work with that. But I did have it in my first Volkswagen Rabbit before I put a real antenna in. I tried that, so I've used them, and you can still find them. Really kind of rare they pop up, but they do pop up. Robert saying your CB GMRS videos have been very informative. Well, great. I'm glad to do it. I'm sure all of you have figured this out, but I didn't go into this to be a YouTube personality or an internet personality. I went into this to help people out. And I kind of joked about it during the video this morning, was that I have this wealth of knowledge, I called it, which is kind of comical. But in a way, it's just a matter of I want to share the things that I love, the hobbies that I have, and the things that I have struggled to learn about those hobbies that might make them more fun for you by having to skip over that whole hard learning process. So that's been the whole thing. If you look, 99% of my videos are reviews or demonstrations or how-tos. Man, I bet you there's probably less than 2 dozen videos other than these live feeds of me just talking or, blowing my own horn, or I don't know what you want to call it. But, I know there's a lot of stations that literally all they do is talk about whatever. They don't really do anything or show anything, but that has definitely not been the case with my little channel. KU4UV, hello from Kentucky, man. Good to have you in here, brother. Don Abbott's here from Burlington, Ontario, Canada. Good to have you in here as well, my friend. Tyler Marshall, really enjoying the CB videos, working on getting a setup for the house and the truck. That's the way to do it, dude. If you're going to put one in, might as well do both. So I've got radios in just about all the cars. I'm working on putting them in all the cars. I've got Jamaica Dog's Striker radios getting installed next. And then I've still got the Taylor, which I'd love to put in the Rabbit truck, but I've got the President Bill in the Rabbit truck, but I can't find a good spot for it. I want to make it a nice, clean install like the Bill is, and so I'm working on that. But so yeah, I gotta love it, man. And then of course I got CBs in the house and out here, so I'm like radios everywhere, dude. It's crazy. I wish it was back. Me and Dallas were talking about this. I wish it was back in the '80s, man, or early '90s when it was just so rocking, and gosh, you're always somebody you could talk to, even at 3 o'clock in the morning. Super B saying, Mom's making some canned pickles today. Been trading figs for cucumbers at the local farmer's market. Right on, dude. Figs are good, too. I don't have any fig trees up here, but there used to be one where I used to live, and love figs, fresh figs. We've been canning a lot, too. In fact, I was talking about that as well the other day. All day today, my wife's been canning. We've been doing spaghetti sauces and salsas, because like all our green peppers, onions, and tomatoes are all coming in like 50 a day, so we got to get rid of that stuff before it goes bad, and got to can it and freeze it. So we've been doing that, man. Oh wow, now this is an old video. Dishurimi 2019, the first video that he saw or she saw was when I talked to the Russians on CB radio. Yeah, I picked up Russians, and I think somebody at some point commented in the comment section that it was actually I don't know if it was I think it was like they were taxi cab drivers, so they must have been running some crazy power, or it was just a perfect skip, but all the way to Russia, man. Isn't that just insane? That's awesome, man. Jamaica Dog said just brought in the barbecued chicken from the grill. Be back after you eat. All right, my friend, we'll take care. Scooters 55, another one, man, coming in. You were like, you have the patience of a saint, my bud, because you kept coming back every time I attempted to make those live feeds earlier today. You stuck with it, and I do appreciate that, brother. And he's saying the Harbor Freight lift is 1,800, and congrats. Well, thank you, man. So that Harbor Freight, I think it was like $17.99 or whatever when I was looking at it, but it was on sale, or I used a 20% coupon, and so it really worked out pretty well. I mean, I think that was a good deal. And I mean, obviously, you saw me using it on multiple cars today. In fact, behind me there's the third car. I have not completely finished that one, but I'm getting close to it. I just ran out of time. We still had to go to the dump and do other stuff. Obviously, I didn't get a chance to shower, which I was aiming for at some point between then and now, but you got to do what you got to do, right? Robert Clark saying, as long as you stay genuine and don't spend too much time thinking about your own videos and content, you do well. I think you're right about that. There have been times when I've had major upticks in like viewership, and I've attempted to look at the analytics, and Mower Junkie and Super B and any of the rest of you who have your own channels, you know what I'm talking about. Like, there's this whole page that's in YouTube for people who upload content. You can track all kinds of stuff: how long they watched it, did they click on the next video afterwards. There's all kinds of stuff. It even shows how many people subscribed, on a certain video. There's all kinds of weird stuff. Where they came from, who recommended it. And so you can sit there and be like, so if I made more just like this, maybe people would like it more, and then they would, But you're right. I think then it goes from being fun to being a job. And I'll be honest with you, in the last 5 years, there's been a few times, once or twice maybe, I'll say 4 or 5 times probably, mostly in the middle of winter, where I have kind of felt like it is a job to make sure that I get something out that week. And that's just because, in the summertime, things are just, I was about to say something, I can't say really on YouTube, but things are just full throttle, man. They're going 100 miles an hour all the time. So there's plenty of things that I can stop, grab a camera, and film, as long as I can find that extra second or two of time to do it. But, in the middle of winter, when it's dead of winter and it's freezing cold out here, so I'm not spending a lot of time out here in the radio gear. I'm not doing a lot of repair work out here. Obviously, I'm not farming. The winter time, that like 2 months or 3 months, if it's a real bad winter, those are the times that I strategize, like, hey, man, what am I going to do on the farm next year? It's when I decide, hey, I'm going to build this solar thing, or that's what I'd like to accomplish this year. I want to build a replacement mud mower, which I did over the winter, because the old one had kind of, given up on me. So it's a lot of thinking, but it's not a ton of doing. And so you end up running real low on content to produce, to put up here, videos that I can actually film. And so last winter, there were a few times, in the winter before that, there were a few times when I was just, running dry and didn't really have any ideas of what to put up. And I apologize if in the wintertime those videos don't come out as good, or they don't seem as genuine, because sometimes I am feeling like, oh geez, man, I gotta do this. But for 99.7% of the time, this is just for fun, man. I enjoy talking with people, and it's funny, I usually feel a little anxious before I go live, and obviously today going live, I think 7 or 8 times. Right now I'm as relaxed as I'll ever be. But in person, I'm very nervous and very apprehensive, and sometimes even a little defensive. So the fact that I can interact with y'all and talk and everything like this, and feel at ease, is really cool. It's good for me. I think it's therapy in a way. So I'm happy that we've all gotten to know each other. So Larry Cook saying, "You're welcome video drew me in, and I can relate to this." Cool, man. That's awesome. So just talking about the things that I do. That's cool. Hey, Mr. Nolan, good to see you in here. Chris Bills, good to see you in here. Chris Bills is also one of the few that kept hanging in there. Every time something crashed or blew up today, he just kept hanging in and popped back up there and see us again. Doug Kirchner saying hello. Thank you for a great channel. Well, thank you for coming and being a fan of Farpoint and supporting the work by watching the videos. That means a lot to me. It's impressive to me that people care. People like it, man. Your Larry Cook's trying to say, living your work, I guess it is. Anamorphic Adam, anybody know the reliability of Harbor Freight generators? So I can tell you that the little one, the 2-stroke one, I think it's like 900 watts, maybe 1,000 watts peak. That one there is not something you would want to run your house off of long term. It's like what they call a tailgater generator. It weighs like 20 pounds. And the thing is, like 2-strokes are a little bit more temperamental anyway. So you'll find those things at junkyards, or you can find them used for like $5-10 at flea markets when we're allowed to be at flea markets. But But they're really, even if you get them on sale for like $80, they're not a great investment. But their Predator line, the bigger stuff that I'd say is 3 or 4 or 5, 6, 7,000 watts of power. Dude, they're plenty fine. They work great. Those Predator engines are all Honda clones, and they've pretty well got them down. So I wouldn't hesitate to buy something like that. Larry Cook, he's saying that. Let's see. Love your comm equipment. Talks about mowers. Cool. So that's awesome, man. No one's saying library is a great platform if you ever need get the boot from YouTube. So I intend, and this is something I'm going to do this winter. I'm on BitChute, and for every like 5 videos I upload maybe 1 or 2 of them to BitChute as well. But I do have copies and a complete backup in the cloud of every video that I have produced here. So if and when, I won't say if, when YouTube decides that I'm not part of the program anymore, I'll have all of it at least on BitChute. But I do intend over the winter to branch out to Library and Brighteon, I think is the other one I'm looking into. So I'll be there. Things are going to change. Things are changing right now. I think everybody realizes the world is definitely different. Freedom of speech is no longer coveted. In fact, it's frowned upon in many parts of this country, which is disgusting to say the least. But things are going to change, and I am prepared for the change. Let's just leave it at that, my friend. Dashimi 2019, ham bands are largely quiet here, but CB is going crazy in Texas. I usually talk to someone every time I crank on my mobile. And I think I got a lot of hate and I got a lot of enemies, which was silly because opinions are just that. It doesn't mean it's fact. But I got a lot when I made a video a couple years back talking about the differences between sideband CB and the ham bands. And I pointed out the fact that in my humble opinion, you could do most 99%, and I won't say 99 anymore because I think that's where they got picked on me over it. But you can do a lot of what you would get on ham on sideband CB, and there's a lot more people doing it. So I agree, for a lot of people, the investment of $1,000 for a really nice ham setup that's going to get you the HF bands and all that, to listen to static on 99.9% of those channels is a hard pill to swallow. I've talked in the last maybe dozen videos or so that I'm saving up to buy. I want to get an ICOM 7300. I want to take my ham general license again and get all that stuff renewed, and I want to get back into it. But I'm well aware that it's not what it was in the 70s or 80s or 90s. It's a quiet place. And while they're signing up more people, they say, while numbers increase, the fact is most of those are people who buy, a Baofeng radio or something similar and play a little bit on 2 meter and then just kind of fade back into the distance. So I don't think those numbers reflect the actual hobby as a whole. So something to think about. Am I really fuzzy, or is it just the fact that I'm blind? This camera loves to get out of focus. It was a purchase that it was a mistake. I should have bought a name brand. So let's see. Hold on. Okay. Robert Clark saying summertime means long days, but then there are a million things that need doing. You got it, man. And if you watched any of the stuff that I put out today, I started out here at 5:15 in the morning, and I haven't even had a chance to shower yet. I literally rolled from job to job to job to job, and then a quick trip to the dump, which is anything but quick. It's 45 minutes round trip, and then back here just in time to stuff some leftovers down my throat, help my wife with putting away some of the canning supplies, and then right back out here. So, yahoo! A day in the life of a homesteader, my friend. Yeah, Robert Clark's also saying, agreeing on the wintertime being a great time for strategizing. Yeah, you can sit there, and I get depressed sometimes because I am a big doer. I'm a hustler, man. As much as I might complain and be like, gosh, I wish I could take a day off, anytime I attempt to take a day off, I feel immediately guilty about not doing stuff and find myself doing stuff again. So that's how it works. But yes, I do love in the wintertime. I have a book. I have not binders. What do you call those? Just like a cheap booklet, and I write in that, and I have my to-do list for summer. I have wish lists of projects I wish to accomplish if the funds are there. And I even have lists of maybe video ideas. So, this is going to make you guys kind of maybe raise an eyebrow, but last winter or last spring, I started a series on Ask a Mechanic, and I only put out, I think, 3 videos. They all got about 1,000 views, so it was a fairly popular video. But I kind of stopped on it because I was busy with other stuff. And I have actually filmed like 6 or 7 videos for that. And I intend this winter, when it's not too cold to be out here working, to film a bunch more, just talking about my experience as a mechanic and information for people who may want to get in there and be a mechanic. So, oh my gosh, there's so much going on here. Oh, I missed so much, guys. I'm gonna try to keep up. I might have to skip over some of you. Super B would love to watch longer earlier today, but had to run to the shop. Man, that's cool. Oh, you sold some cars. Good day, my friend. Yeah, that's always a good day. Yeah, so no one's chiming in with that as well. Thanks, everybody, for your input on generators. Right on, brother. Hey, 741, congratulations, man. I hope everything's going well. 741 is going through some times. I'm not going to get into it. That's private business, but good for you, brother, and let me know if there's anything I can do for you, okay, friend? 9mm Arrow, man. I've never watched any other live stream before. Every other channel but this one is just content to watch for entertainment or info. But here it's obvious you have a genuine connection to your viewers. Thank you, man. Those are some real nice words, man. That's awesome. Dallas Rife says you'll have to scroll up a little for that story. Okay. Oh, wow. Dutch me saying his ICOM 7300 is collecting dust. And that's what I'm super worried about, is that I'm going to save up like $1,000, and buy an antenna, a long wire antenna, get a tuner and get the 7300, get it all hooked up and use it for like a week and be like, I'm going back to sideband, I'm going back to 38. So, wow, there's so many comments, guys. I'm going to try to get through y'all. Anamorphic guy saying he doesn't understand all the bashing on CB or ham. It's all fun. And yeah, I think that's it. I think it should be totally okay for me to have an opinion about, even if an opinion on whether one is more fun than the other, without making people upset that somehow they thought, oh my gosh, you're bashing ham. I'm not bashing ham at all, man. I love all things radio. I'll play with anything. Pirate radio, my little micro broadcaster. I do the Shoutcast broadcast, so I'm talking AM and FM terrestrial radio. And then, I love shortwave. I love GMRS. I love FRS. I love CB. I love ham. I love it all. But I have my preferences. I love to play. And my video was more about saying, hey, if you got to pick one, I'd probably pick that one. You know what I mean? Robert Clark saying freedom of speech is still valid, but the internet and radio, for that matter, given the existence of the internet, is not speech. Yeah, okay. All right. Saying, let's see, cranking on in the case of emergency. Audio and video are good. Okay, good deal, dude. Yeah, so we had some problems. This camera, as temperatures change or it's on longer, it tends to change focus. I'm going to get a better camera here over the winter. But yeah, I'm sure you all know, if any of y'all watch the video on when I finished that solar array, it was a lot, man. So that was a lot of money. So money's way tight right now. So I'm waiting. There's things that I want to do, but gotta hang in there. So Robert Clark saying weekends equals riding dirty. Jason Kane, yeah, you're fuzzy. And for me, the only pull to ham is to talk to the International Space Station, or try to. Yeah, I dig that. So I'm also into satellite stuff, and I love Robbie Strike's channel, and I've done a little bit of my own satellite stuff here recently. In fact, there's more videos that are ready to be uploaded on that. In fact, maybe tomorrow, instead of a CB one, I'll do the free-to-air stuff again. But yeah, you can do moon bounce and stuff like that. I'd like to try that. It's almost more about the science to it, like the challenge, than it is to talking. Where CB is just talking and having a good time, and of course it's awesome when you make a long distance contact and can write it all up. But ham, I think for me is going to be more of that. I do want to get back into packet radio. I think that's pretty cool, since I have a BBS on the internet. Packet radio is like literally a BBS for over the air, so I'd like to try that. I just don't think this area has enough traffic to make it worthwhile, but it still might be fun to play with. Chris Bild saying he's been thinking about a ham radio, but man, that permit test is hard. Yeah, there's some classes you can take online, but it helps. But I'm not gonna lie, it is difficult too. Anamorphic guy says, "What? You didn't have a Dollar Tree burger?" Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh man, my guts are rotten right now, man. I've got a lot of medical things. I had big problems last year, so I'm really not supposed to eat any of that stuff. But when my wife goes away, she goes to visit her family or goes out of town for whatever reason, I might occasionally eat those things, but I usually pay dearly for it. And unfortunately, a lot of times I pay dearly even when I'm eating the stuff I'm supposed to, so I don't want to push my luck. Let's see, 741 saying, thanks, man, taking it day by day, but for now, looking as positive as I can. That's right, dude. That's about all the thing we can do. Put our hands and just hope for the best, and that's exactly what I'm doing for you, brother. Anamorphic Addict, I hope you didn't think I was bashing on you on CB or Ham. I was, for the most part, agreeing with you. Oh, no, man. No, I'm not. I understand completely, guys. And if you want to bash on me, you know, what do they say? Opinions are like, you know what? Everybody's got one. So my word is not the gospel, you know. This is just one man's opinion. And I hope people realize that. And the whole idea, I think, of YouTube, or what it could be, is that we can go out and find other opinions, you know. You don't have to silence or bash somebody. You can just say, interesting. I'm not sure I agree with that. And then go find somebody else who has a differing opinion that you more likely agree with. And then you can be like, interesting. I agree with that guy. I'm never going to watch Farpoint Farms again because he's a loser. Or maybe I'll watch his mower videos, but I'm never watching any more radio videos, right? Reginald, how you doing, man? All the way from Dublin, Ireland. Yeah, you were somebody. I think it might have been you that said "yay" because it was early enough that you could actually chime in tonight, man. So, Larry Cook saying he got a little frustrated with is it B or CB or Ham? It didn't come through all the way. And Piero Farman, hello from Brazil. I have a good friend who lives in Brazil. Actually, he lives in Lebanon now, but boy, they had a rough go of it. But good day from there, man. You guys have. I'm jealous of all your air-cooled Volkswagens that still roll around down there, man. So, hello and welcome to the channel. Dallas is saying looks okay on his end. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be 4K. I do set the bit rate very low so that you know it doesn't cut off. So that might be some of the blur too. But I am going to get a better camera sometime, I promise. And you know, this is something. You know, there's this saga I want to share with you guys because you're going to crack up about this, or you ought to, because it's like so frustrating it becomes funny. But so about 2 years ago, guys were saying when I was doing videos outside, like lawnmower repair stuff out in the yard, that they'd get wind noise, or that they had a hard time hearing me because I was 10, 15 feet away from the camera, and I was using just the cell phone at that point, so I didn't understand that. So I tried. They were like, you need to get a wireless mic, right? So I ordered a wireless mic off of Amazon and plugged it in, and the thing is terrible. I have one video I'm going to upload that I filmed with it, that I've literally been holding for like a year because it's so bad, man. Like super staticky. Sounds like an AM radio station from about 10,000 miles away, you know. So just put that to the side and was like, well, you know, great. So sat on it for like a year. I got another complaint about a video, and I was like, dang it, okay, you know, I'll do this. So I bought like a $200 Sony wireless mic, okay. Big bucks, dude. Like I've $200 in the electronics world for me. You know, you're not finding these things used. So Sony, I get this thing. It's supposed to fit on my custom camera, and it's got like a shoe. It fits on the top there, you know, and it's get it all set up. It doesn't work. I can't get it to work, man. Like literally, I don't know. I'm not that smart. I just computers and electronics in general. I have my limitations. So I screwed with this thing for like 2 weeks, man, and I didn't want to run out of like return opportunities, so I sent it back. So here we are, you know, 4, 5, 6 years later, whatever it's going to be. I still don't have a wireless mic, but I'm working on it, guys. I'm working on it, so sorry about that, you know. Larry Cook saying, oh, he got frustrated with HF and switched to CB, VHF, and UHF. Yeah, I think, back in Raleigh, it was 2 meter for me all the way, and maybe some 440 stuff, but here, those two bands are dead, which is kind of a bummer, but... Wilmer Martin, how you doing, man? What do you think the best CB handheld radio is? That would be the Cherokee. I can't remember the model number, but it's a sideband CB handheld radio. Now, if you don't want to go exotic and spend hundreds of dollars on something crazy like that, literally any TRC, Radio Shack, realistic handheld that has been well cared for is going to give you great performance. I tend to like the late 80s to mid 90s ones more than the mid 90s to today models, but there are some exceptions. And then you also have, if you want to get something new that's fancy, Midland makes one that's like a one-hander that goes in your car, and then you can also slip on a battery pack, put on the rubber ducky antenna, and use it as a mobile handheld. So that's kind of a best of all worlds type thing, and I think they're pretty cool, man. Anamorphic Guy says, that's why I like it here, man. Everybody's cool. And I think so, man. Like, I don't, I know there's channels that suffer from guys that get picked on or pick on other people. But I think it comes down to a lot of that is how do you act? How do you treat people? I treat people the way I want to be treated, so I tend to treat people very nice unless they push it a little too far over the edge. And sometimes they do. I'm not perfect, and I don't think anybody is. But for the most part, I'd say 99 point something %, I have treated people more than fairly and tried my best to answer questions, even when I thought, like, dude, I don't get paid to answer all these questions, but I'll answer these emails. I'll try, So 9mm AR man says, I'm not the gospel. I'm the Book of Farpoint Farms. There you go. I'll work on my memoirs for you, okay, AR man? Super Beast chiming in. He agrees with that. Jamaican Dog's back. Hello, my friend. Good to see you back. Oh, my gosh, so many comments I'm missing. Good meal. Good. I'm glad to hear it. The mid-coast of Maine saying the way life should be. He is alive and real and wow. Right on, brother. Dallas Rife says about 2 years ago, I saw you in a painful position on your knees working on something. And I said, this guy's either dedicated, a madman, or high on life. I'm all in. Yeah, brother. Yeah. I think somebody made that comment not too long ago about a video, and I was on the ground, maybe changing tires or something like that, and they were like, man, I wish I had my knees like that. And I'm thinking to myself, you guys have no idea. Scorching, burning pain shooting up and down my legs. My back is completely shot, and today pulling those tires on and off and stuff, just raging pain, man. And I don't drink, I don't take medication, I refuse to dull the senses of my life with that stuff. I struggled with alcohol when I was younger, and I am over it, and I just don't want anything to affect me like that. So the most you'll see me take is an aspirin, and I rarely do that, even though my wife might yell at me to do so. So, yeah, interesting stuff. But yeah, Dallas, dedication, my friend. You just go all in. You just do it. That's it. Night Stalker, how you doing, brother? Hello from California. He's saying that's awesome, man. Good to have you in here. Amazing. I love the fact that we're sitting here in 2020, and for guys my age, the idea that I would someday just sit here on my own television channel and talk across the world and get instant responses, man, not in my wildest dreams, man. Not in my wildest dreams. So cool. Chris Bill said just a week ago, got a free GE help radio from the 80s. It's beat up, but it works great. Yeah, dude, and I have 2 of those in cars right now. So the 2 cars that I don't have permanent installs in, including my Mirage, I went out and bought a GE help radio. I'd have gotten a realistic. They make some great ones too, but the GE help radio, real compact, doesn't take up a lot of room in the trunk, and they work really well. It's a 4-watt radio. So if I had an issue, or let's say, and this has happened, you get stuck in a massive traffic jam in an unfamiliar part of the country, and you're at a dead stop, pull the thing out, plug it in, stick the antenna on the roof, key down on 19 and say, yo, what's going on? And I guarantee you 4 or 5 people are going to answer you right away. And that's what a one-hander's all about, man. It's perfect. Those help radios really do help. I can't, and they're like a secret because they're so cheap, because people just don't really purchase those as collectibles or as something they want to use day to day. But also, when I was younger, my first base station, after I had a handheld TRC 217, I think it was, or still have it somewhere. That was my first base, because that was the only radio I had. But when I set up my first base station, it was a realistic emergency radio, and it had a little hook on the back that was supposed to be for hanging it from a mirror. But I put a screw in the wall and hung it on the wall. Front-facing speaker, all the controls were right there. Had a digital display. It had an RCA to a 259 connector, and I put the 102 whip on the roof. We had a steel roof because I was living in an old mobile home. Worked great. Used it for a year while I saved up money. So I think people, I don't want to bash on ham. I am not bashing on ham, but I want to say find me a ham rig that you can put together for $6. That's gonna get you the kind of entertainment that little setup did. So I think that's just something I want to point out, and I hope people aren't getting the wrong impression. I'm definitely not bashing ham. I love ham, and again, I'm saving up to spend $1,000 on ham. So. Nice talker saying West Coast, waving a hand, man. Anamorph Gabby saying my poor sons do tech support and I drive them crazy with the questions. Yeah, I'm sure you can imagine. People call me with a lot of email me with a lot of CB repair questions, and while I can muddle my way through some of that stuff, I am not, Mike's radio repair is the way to go there. I can't do that. I can look for, a blown cap or something like that and replace it, or something that's literally burned out, and I can certainly clean and resolder cracked joints. But as far as like, I don't have an oscilloscope, I don't get into that stuff. I'm nowhere near that skilled. So I'm not your guy. Can't do tune-ups. I don't have the golden screwdriver touch or nothing like that. So Midland Coast of Maine saying he just bought a B-Tech handheld tri-band. Wow, nice, man. Oh, wow, cool. So good way to keep in touch with family. Right on. That's awesome. Let's see here. Anamorphic Adam. Oh, gosh. You know what I'm going to do? I'm sorry, guys. I just whipped through. I wanted to catch up with y'all, so I've blown through some of y'all, and I apologize for that. Super B saying chiropractor says the best story he heard all week. Yeah, no kidding. And let me tell you something. I went to a chiropractor for the first time this year. I always thought they were a scam. I really did, man. But I suffered for like a month straight. I lifted a tire improperly, and I was really, really having problems getting around. And, I mean, it was intense. So I called somebody in town, and this was like at the height of the lockdown. But they said, well, by appointment only, wear your mask, blah, blah, blah. And so I went down there again. I figured, well, it's $50 or whatever it ended up being. It's worth it at this point. I'm in this much misery. That lady spent about 5 minutes with me, made some pops and cracks and stuff, and I was still in a ton of pain. I thought, well, I just got ripped off for $50. And she said, you'll hurt a little bit today, but you'll feel better tomorrow. And I woke up in the morning, and I felt like I was in college, man. I was just so much different. So, you can't cure the damage that I've done. You can't fix the degradation to discs and the ripped muscles that have healed improperly over the years. But that right there made me feel young again, and I had spent 2-3 weeks just feeling like I was going to kick off, or wanted to anyway. Night Stalker's chiming in. There's a lot of people on CB, easy to talk to. Yeah, ham can. Sometimes I find ham operators, especially the older ones, a little bit standoffish if they don't already know you, or your stuff isn't perfect. So CB, that's usually not the case. Although there's guys sometimes that, oh, you're off frequency, bro. There's a clarifier knob on your radio for a reason, man. If it's too hard for you to adjust that ever so slightly so we can have this conversation, I guess it just wasn't meant to be. So Jason Kane saying, Eric, you remind me that I'm old. BBS's CB. Things like reading and actual books versus downloading an audio. That's what I love about Farpoint. Also, with age, it's funny how things change. Isn't it crazy, man? It is crazy. Wow, that's weird. AR, man, it blocked out a review, or it blocked out your message. I'm going to pop it and make it legal. He was just asking people to hit the like button, but said held for review. So that's interesting. I wonder why I got weird over that. But anyway. Man, I'm sorry, guys. You guys are typing. This is a good problem to have, but I do apologize. Y'all are typing so much stuff in here. I can't get through it all. Plus, I just never shut up. I never stop talking. Night Stalker says Mike gave up on YouTube. Yeah, well, I had thought maybe the guy had health problems, but somebody sent a President Radio in for repair and talked with him, and he just said he had had enough of it. And I don't blame him. Look, guys get burned out on that stuff. Mike being front and center in this thing, as far as CB goes, I sometimes wonder if those folks don't get a lot of trash talk. And I think like those build off. There's a guy, I don't remember the name of him. I'm sorry, but there's a guy that does like, he does custom radios, maybe Lester Customs or something like that. Super cool. Like obviously the guy knows his stuff at a level that I never will. But I can't help but wonder if like people give him all kinds of heck privately or through the comments section because they just, I don't know if it's jealousy or competitiveness. I'm not sure what's going on there, but yeah, I feel like that does happen, man. So, Mid Coast of Maine. When are you going to do snowplow videos? Wife wants to see it. So this is so funny, man. So last winter, I bought a Johnny Products Johnny Plow Senior, which fits my Kubota. Hydraulically operated plow. I mean, a major upgrade from the one on the garden tractor. And I did an install video and kind of went over, the demonstration of how it operated. And, on a normal year here, we get about 85 inches of snow, sometimes about 90, 95 inches of snow. So that's a normal year. I usually plow, I would say from October to late March or early April, I usually plow, 30 or 40 times. I kid you not, I bought this thing, and the joke has been at our house that it was like, by buying it, I ensured that we wouldn't get snow. So we got a couple of storms, but they were like 2 or 3 inches. I'm not breaking out the plow. I'd probably tear up the driveway doing that stuff. And we never got even like a super hard freeze. You know, it might be a cold freeze for a day or here and there, but man, it's crazy. Yeah, it's just crazy. So that's the insurance policy. I told my wife, if it only cost me what that plow cost me every year not to have snow up here where I had to plow, you know, at 2 o'clock in the morning, then I would spend that money every year to make that happen. So, but I am positive we'll go back to normal this winter. So yeah, you'll see some Kubota and Johnny plowing videos. You know, Johnny Products doesn't sponsor the channel or anything, but I reached out to them when I bought that plow and told them who I was. And, you know, I have the electric Johnny Plow hitch on the garden tractors, and I've spoke highly of it. So they actually knew me through that. They said it had really helped their company out. And they're a family-run company here in the Midwest, and American-made stuff all the way. So that was awesome. I really was proud to have helped a local company and just good people out. So they told me if I ever needed, you know, help or parts or whatever, that they try to. They don't have the kind of funding to, you know, just give stuff away, but they said they would maybe help me out and give it at cost or whatnot. So that was really cool of them to do that. So there you go. So Dallas Rife saying he started studying for his general license last week, and yes, hallelujah. Somebody else has a clarifier knob story. I feel your anguish. Yeah, dude. You know, maybe the rest of y'all can chime in, but it's like, come on, man. Like, I hear that all the time. People are like, man, you're off frequency, bro, blah, blah, blah. It's like, this is fine and a course, you know. It's just doop, there you go. Mid-Coast of Maine saying they pay for downvotes on those things. Yeah, man. So, that was happening to my channel, and I don't, you know, YouTube is actually, you'll notice my channel doesn't have it has the up or down button, but it does not have, it doesn't register the votes, like you can't see it, and there was actually a company that was being paid to downvote, so some loser on here, and I mean, good gosh, man, come on, get a life, man. For my little peeny-weeny channel that has, you know, I don't mean anything in this scheme of things, but they were paying to downvote any video that had to do with radio stuff, which is pathetic in every level that I can think of. But so they have turned off that feature on mine for right now, and they're actually doing some kind of like IP search or anything. It's kind of a thing. I mean, they tried to explain it to me, and I don't really understand, but I was interested. I'm happy to help them with fraud, which is what that is. It's the same thing. Like, I get emails every once in a while about, like, literally, you know, it's like companies from overseas, like, oh man, give us, you know, $100 and we'll watch all your videos. And I'm like, dude, that's illegal. You look at the terms of service here, and what is that going to do for me? That's fake. That's not. I want to grow this channel, but I don't want to cheat at it. I mean, that's just wrong, man. It's just, but yeah, we live in a weird world, you know. What do you get? Mower Junkie saying it's getting less than 5 inches of snow here. That's what it was in Raleigh. I lived in Moncure for many years, and I moved up here to get away from the muggy heat. Like, I know that summer must be rough where you're at right now, but yeah, you know, you pay for it in the winter side, so it's kind of like you can't win. But I don't know. I'm getting used to it. The first couple of years, I won't lie, I really hated the snow because, you know, you have to have separate vehicles for snow, and you have to have snow tires, and so it adds some expense to your life. But I've kind of gotten used to it now. I don't look forward to it, but it doesn't. I don't like literally get angry over it. So. Let's see here. Main saying Fisher V plow built 45 miles away. Yeah, cool, man. So yeah, Fisher plows. The state or the town uses all that stuff here. So yeah, Fisher's a big company. I have another plow that fits on the T100 for really bad snowstorms, and I did some videos of it. It's the K2 Rampage, which I think they've just recently redesigned. It's not a professional grade, but it wasn't cheap either. And I used that on the Kubota for a while, but it sticks out so far because you had to have a couple of adapters to use it, so it just got to be like I felt like I needed to upgrade. So I'm actually going to try and sell that this fall because I think the Kubota can do it all. Chris Bill saying, Mower Junkie, where have you located? I haven't got any snow here in Charlotte for 2 years. Oh man, Chris Bill, I forgot you lived in Charlotte, man. YouTube is helping. Yeah, Maine Coast of Maine, they actually are. Well, you know, the way YouTube looks at it is it's fraud. So they want to locate people who are fraudulently manipulating the statistics, and they want to not just demonetize, they want to delete those channels. So for somebody who is thinking they're going to take the risk of, oh, you know, I'll buy votes or I'll buy views and think they're going to get away with it, YouTube has, it's money. There's money involved. And anytime there's money involved, companies like YouTube are going to make sure that that doesn't happen. So they're out there. They got lawyers and they got people, IT people to do that stuff, I guess. So there you go. Mower junkies from my area, don't let them fool you. Yeah, that accent, you might be from South Carolina now, but whoa, look at this guy. I love your accent, man, because I spent some time living up north, and I can do a mean New York accent, New Jersey accent. I can do that stuff if you need me to. And it just, I don't know, there's some comfort to that sound, my friend. I love it. Dashmi saying most ham conversations only last about 2 minutes unless you're running a lot of power. Yeah, fading in and out, that kind of stuff does happen. Good evening, 307 Maine, he's saying. Right on, brother. Anamorphic Adam, I really need to start bringing my tea jug in here off to the kitchen for a refill. Yeah, speaking of refill, I might have to take a pause and empty something real quick here in a second. I'm definitely all of a sudden having to go pee, but I'll try to hold it for a little while longer. How long have we been doing this? Oh my gosh, almost an hour. Dallas Rice saying most snooty ham operators are like a certain political group. They hide behind the rule book and want to enforce it on everyone that's not in their clique. They act like they own certain frequencies. Now, I don't want to get into a mess. I don't want to get into a fight, but I do agree that there is a certain very, very small segment of mostly older hams who do seem to be pretty down on enforcing rules unless it pertains to them. But I think we talked about it in a video a couple months back. What's the thing? Homeowners Association, right? It's like a homeowners association, right? It's only cool if they want it to be cool. If you try to do something different, they're gonna crap all over you and stuff. And so I'm not going to disagree with that, but I certainly don't want to make people think that that's all of ham. It's just a very small fraction, but they're out there for sure. Robert Clark said that downvote came and went. I'm glad to see that. Oh, yeah. Okay. Wow. So somebody's been downvoting this one, too. I usually get one, so I've definitely got one person out there who hates me and downvotes every single one of my videos. But that, I don't mind. Like, if you guys genuinely hate my work, it's okay for real people to say you suck. I thought it was kind of stupid to do that digitally or fake it, whatever. Hey, Zika, how you doing, man? I haven't seen you in a while. Good to have you on the show, man. Wicked Bad Storms, Mower Junkie. Yeah. Hey, what do y'all think about the dual hurricanes that are going to hit the Gulf? What the heck, man? What is it with 2020, man? Seriously, I think the Mayans might have got it wrong here. I'm definitely going to be worried in December. Let's hope they got the date right anyway. Somebody got their ham license. Good for you, brother. Good. Oh gosh, man. I'm sorry I've missed some of your stuff. You've seen one of y'all chiming in there. CB's all about freedom and having fun. Got some tea for yourself, Mr. Adam. That's good to hear. Someone's being a turkey. Yeah, that's all right, man. It is what it is. Super B says I did not have hurricane on my 2020 bingo card. Guess what I've got for September, guys? I'm going to say this right now. This is like the most specific guess ever. I say asteroid impact East Coast ocean and massive flooding of the under subways and stuff in New York City. That is my guess. Could I be any more specific than that? So if I get that one right, I want y'all to take this video and post it everywhere so people think I'm some kind of like I'm a psychic or something like that, and I'll be rich. Of course, I'm totally guessing, but that's my guess. And but still, I want to be I want people to come to me and be like, what's in my future? And I'll be like, you're going to get old eventually, and then eventually you're going to pass away, and I'll be right. So again, I'll have predicted the future. So there we go. Jamaica Dog, I use CB way more than I use ham. Yeah, I check the nets, but it's more relaxing conversation on CB. It is, man. People just having fun. Gosh, I feel like, oh, man, we're twisting down the road to bashing ham, and I refuse to do that anymore. So please don't get the wrong impression. I love ham as well. I love all things radio. Don't forget that, folks. Robert Clark saying he lives in a place with tropical storms. He complained about the storms. Yeah, man, it's gonna be something. Yeah. I said yeah, that group you just mentioned, yeah. Elders, the real elders. I think guys in their 80s are the ones that are holding things down. Zeke is saying, what are your thoughts on GMRS? Can we expect some sideband versus ham 2-meter videos in the future? Yeah, so Got to edit it, but I have had a lot of opportunity to play with the base station here, the 40 watt GMRS rig that I got set up. Great radio, lots of features and functions, a little bit of a learning curve. Again, I am nowhere near as smart as I may appear or not appear to be, but so I had to go through the manual multiple times. And in fact, when I made the video on features and functions, I had to reference the video a couple times. So, but I got that set up. I've got the one in the truck, and I am now traveling back and forth to town much more often. So expect, I've just got to time it where my wife is, here in the morning or here in the evening when I'm coming back, so I can do a range test with it. But I've got it set up with the Taylor. Is it the Taylor or the Walker? I think it's the Walker that I've got installed in the truck now. So I can do AM versus GMRS. And then I can also take the winter car, the Volvo, which now has that really nice striker, massive antenna on it, the SR10, and we'll do some range tests because I'm very curious. It's just that I would say for the last 2.5 months I haven't left the property very often, and so when I have left, timing it with my wife to be on the other side to record it's just not been possible, man. 741 saying there's a new movement in ham and it's starting to turn a positive corner. Yeah, so 741. Gosh, is it? Who's another big channel? I know you're one of them, but Ham Radio. Gosh, he does a lot of stuff like I do, but for ham. He's a really nice guy. I've never spoken to him in person, although I did shoot him an email and offer to work with him on collaboration, and I unfortunately didn't hear back, but. He has been talking about how he thinks more people need to be making videos about ham to bring it more into that positive light, to be making it more aware. More faces, more. So let's say people don't like me, they don't like my attitude, or they don't like my personality. Well, there's Mower Junkie, and there's 741, and there's everybody, Super B. If you want to make CB videos, so in Dallas, you ought to get into it because you have quite a nice collection. So those are other voices and other faces that they can see. So hopefully the idea is you find somebody that you're like, I can relate to this guy or gal. And so maybe I'll try getting into it. And I think, gosh, I wish I could remember his name. Ham Radio Concepts, I think it is, but I'm not positive. There's two of them that I watched. One of them has just kind of rage quit and has started another channel, and I wished him the best of luck. He had a problem that I had early on and fixed it. He has now got Ponderosa, I think is his new channel, but he's going to be doing videos on all kinds of stuff. Mower repairs, solar stuff. Sound familiar? So he just got fed up with the fact that if he tried to put a video up that was about anything other than ham, that people really got angry with him and were pretty mean to him. And so he just blew a fuse and was like, you know what, I'm done, man. And so he's still going to make CB and ham-related stuff, but on a totally different channel, and I really appreciate him making that stand and just being like, I think more channels need to be variety based. It's not that I don't appreciate a guy or gal that focuses on one topic, but I want to know more about you, man. I want to know your life, and you can go to Redneck Computer Geek, and that dude, it's all about everything, man. I'm sure, his videos started off as mower stuff, but now they're literally about his life. He went through a real rough patch in his life and lived off grid for a little while, and now he's back. So man. So Anamorphic Adam say, now on the weather, Farpoint Farms TV. There you go. Hey, everybody, it's Farpoint Farms, and I'm here to tell you that we got these giant storms, and they're going to go this way, and then another storm is going to go this way, and none of this is actually going to happen because we can't predict the future even 5 minutes. Bow back to the news. Minnesota man of Maine. I take care of an elderly father. I feel for you, my man. Lost your mom to cancer. Oh, gosh. That's awesome that you're able to find some folks to talk to get that stuff out of your head. That has got to be awfully rough, and my heart goes out to you, man. You're doing the right thing, though, brother. Good for you. My wife says she hates it when my Predator coil antenna scrapes the Chick-fil-A ceiling at the drive-thru. Yeah, I get that sometimes. Oh, gosh, here we go. Larry Cook says it right, man. I'm a radio enthusiast. That is exactly how I like to refer to myself. I'm a CB guy, but I am a radio enthusiast, man. I will play with anything that gets on the air. Alex, so far I have not been able to locate a GMRS repeater, so I'm still looking. This obviously has the capability to do repeaters, and if it comes to it, I may just try to get my own repeater and start that up. So we'll see. Guys, I've missed a bunch of your comments, so again, unfortunately, I'm going to blow through a bunch here. I apologize if I didn't answer your questions, but there's just so much going. David G says, I also follow Redneck Computer Geek. He's up in Maine. Good channel. Yeah, he's just again, like some people definitely put on a show, like, hey, today we're going to do this, blah, blah, blah. Or they act like they're not, like they wouldn't in real life, which I think is kind of common. I'm not going to do that. And I definitely can tell you, I feel like Redneck Computer Geek is the most, like, down to earth, just like he is who he is, and all the rest of you, I won't mention your names again, that I watch or follow, you're real, and I love that for that. That when you come on, who I'm talking to is the same guy I'd be talking to if I saw you in person. And so I think that honesty is what makes that personal connection like we're having right now. 741, I like Ham Radio Concepts too. He's got great videos. Yeah. So I think he's the one I'm thinking of. And now is it? Gosh, see, I get him confused. Is Ham Radio Concepts? He's the one that's still making them every day and doing a lot of that stuff. But he's the one that put out that video a couple weeks back about we need more people making videos. But the other guy, I can't remember what his channel name is, but his new one is Ponderosa Pines or the Big Ponderosa. He's like literally split his channel into two, and I really I wish I could have him on to interview him, like do a split screen, because he seems like a genuine guy. He did a really nice CB radio video about a year ago that when a ham operator, that especially a channel like that where they focus so solely on ham stuff, when they're willing to talk about it, and he was brutal in the comment section, man. He was like, shut up, every one of you people that hates on CB, you started on it, you've got at least 4 of them in your ham shack, so don't give me that. And he also had some amps that were in the video, and people were giving him crap about that, and he just he really stood his ground, and I give him credit for that. He had a real good attitude about that, so I was proud of him, man. It is him. Okay, all right. So Animorph, that is that guy. And his name is Eric. Yes, that's right. It is Eric. So that's what I'm thinking, Eric. I can't think of the guy's channel name, but there we go. So that's awesome. So, hey, if any of y'all know him or communicate with him, tell him I would love to work together. If he wants to get in touch with me, I've sent him an email or two or a message or two. But I know how it is when you get hundreds of messages a day. It's probably just slipped past, slipped through the radar there. But, yeah, I'd love to do that, man. Hey, 556, how you doing, man? Good to see you in here. Welcome to the 500th episode, the 500th video. So right on, dude. Robert Clark says, sup, NATO Hunter? Yeah, that's right. One's for NATO, one's for hunting. Good, man. I like that. Yeah, Jamaica Dog saying, yeah, he moved to his grandfather's property in Florida and put up a ring antenna on the deck of his camper. Good guy. Yeah, and he's going like semi-off grid, so like you can tell in his soul, there's probably a lot in common between the two of us other than just our name and our love for radios. The guy's he's doing the right thing, helping his family. He's moving someplace where he wants to grow food, he was talking about. He wants to play with radio. He wants to spend more time on the radio and less time talking about it. And he wants to go solar, and he just wants to make videos on like the things that matter in his life outside of that one thing that he's famous for. And I felt like I was listening to myself, and that was that early on where my channel was 50-50. It was garden tractors and like repair garden tractor stuff, and then 50% radio stuff. And I got a lot of that hate early on too. Man, you need to split your channel. I'm going to stop. I'm going to unsubscribe if you don't. And I just was like, I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm not changing. I'm going to do this. And of course, as the years have gone on, holy cow, I have expanded the channel in so many directions. People just never know what they're going to get when they wake up on a Saturday or Sunday. And I like that, man. Maybe you won't like it, but maybe you'll find some new hobby or some new thing you never knew about. I've gotten a lot of positive comments this year alone on that they love the channel, but they're always they always find it surprising how many hobbies or how many things I know, and that it's cool, So I like that. I just find that's cool, man. Hello from Missouri says Outdoors and Tech. Good to see you in here, brother. Oh no, it looks like we lost the internet. We're back. Sorry guys, looks like we had our first hiccup. That's not good. That means that hiccups might be inbound, but let's hope not. Let's see, I got a couple here I'm going to go over. We'll probably wrap this thing up at 9:30, so hopefully it decides to play along. If not, I'm not gonna butcher this live feed because we've had such a great time. I don't want to ruin that with a bunch of cut ups and dropouts and stuff. So Zeke is saying, what are your experiences with 2 meter? Nothing beyond line of sight with 2 meter here, either here or in Raleigh. So that's pretty much the limitations of that. Night Soccer saying you got a good group of CBers in an area that do weekly check-ins. Yeah, I think I want to try to start a net. See a lot of traffic in your area. Maybe start a net. Maybe put some old-fashioned way of doing this, but put some flyers up at the grocery stores. You know, those pegboards are there for a reason. You might just be surprised. I wouldn't put flyers on people's cars, but put them up there and just, you know, hey, we're going to meet on 36 lower sideband, or I would probably start an AM and then work up your group and go from there. So that's something to do for sure. Moving down. I'm going to go right down. Here we go. We're back. Yeah, sorry guys. So again, hopefully that's the only hiccup, but if it's been like it was all morning, it keeps dropping out every 3 or 4 minutes, and I don't know what the heck that is, but I certainly have tried hard to make it not happen. So riots happening all afternoon as patriots show up in Portland. Oh boy, Bro Weaver, I'm sorry to hear that. Man, this country's definitely going through some stuff, isn't it? Chris Bills, this is by far the best YouTube channel. Eric doesn't clickbait. He doesn't show off all the special things and stuff. Eric is himself. It is great. Well, I appreciate that, man. That's it. I don't do clickbait, man. I bet you I could probably have twice as many views if I started all my videos with, look at what I got now, you know, as the title, or, you know, have that blacked out splotch and be like, check out this awesome, and you have to click on it just to see what it is. That's wasting my life and yours, man. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to tell you exactly what the videos are going to be about, and I hope that you find it interesting. If you don't, move along, my friends, right? 741 says, loves the variety in the channel too. Always so exciting to see something new and look forward to. Yeah, I mean, I think I've introduced quite a few people to quite a few new ideas. How many of y'all knew about BBSs before I showed you that video on it? How many of y'all knew about Shoutcast Radio, or that it was still a thing anyway? And I love sharing that stuff. And FTA, I know Robbie Strike does it, but another voice out there talking about those kind of cool things is another voice that maybe gets you involved in those, and then you become a new voice. So, right on. Mid-Coast of Maine saying, you know, I spent 20 years as a Marine, all that radio stuff they taught us, I use it for my CB, right? Yeah. Nice Sucker saying, check out World Radio 595 on YouTube. He broadcasts live CB in my area. Cool, man. Airwaves, good to see you in here. I don't think we've ever talked before. Good to have you in here. Hello, a fellow enthusiast from Western North Carolina. Right on, dude. Glad to have you up here. Maybe we'll hear each other on the air someday. Chris Weaver, how do you have internet in the mountains? Got to look at the positive side of life. Yeah, so there is, you know, I'm very rural, very rural, 45 minutes to town. But there is somebody up here many years before we moved up here who obviously was a multi-millionaire, and who obviously wanted to have really nice high-speed internet. So not only do we have high-speed internet up here, but there's fiber optics up here. And it actually, you know, you see, I got a 1,600-foot driveway. Whoever lived here before me paid, gosh, can you imagine how much it cost to run fiber up here? Now, when I moved up here, we intended to have Netflix DVD by mail and dial-up internet. I mean, I cannot believe the bonus that I got here, man. So that was awesome. So yeah, I'm blessed to have that, and it's usually pretty decent. I think the problems I'm having here are either antenna or router-related issues. So I'm not going to blame that on the county at all. Bruce Carpenter from Newland. Boy, that's only about an hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes away. That's right on, dude. And Newland has a Radio Shack, because I've been there, man, and it's still around, isn't it? Because they even have a billboard up in, what town is it I was driving through? Blowing Rock? No, Banner Elk. I was in Banner Elk, headed to a Lowe's or something, and I saw a huge billboard for Radio Shack. I should have taken a picture. That would have been great, man. Free satellite TV thing. My wife won't let me climb a tree. I got you, man. Ham Radio Concepts was talking to George on 2 meters with a little power on the international calling frequency. I need to give you a call on 2 meters. I might just make the trip. I'll definitely play with that here. Let's see here. I'm going to scan back down, guys. I'm so sorry that there's just, I mean, it's a great problem to have when there's so many. Super B saying meet up at the Newland Radio Shack. You know what, guys? I could do that. That's not too far a drive for me. And Super B, if you're down in South Carolina, that could work. Probably a little too far for Mower Junkie down. I think he's more mid-state. But I would do it. I'd do it. We'd meet there. Probably be the most interesting meetup ever if you guys want to do that. Robert Clark says if you were chasing views, you could do a perpetual video on engine motor mount replacement on the Volvo 200 series. It's always going to need those. That is the most random thing, but I worked for Volvo when the 240s were still rolling off the assembly line, and I swear you're correct. Those solid motor mounts, they would crack and the motor would twist a little bit. You'd have to replace those things, and then about 5 weeks later, you have to replace them again and again and again and again. That is so funny, man. That's just such a random comment. I love it. Jason Kane saying he loves Radio Shack. Make Radio Shack great again. I agree 100%. I'm hoping for a major comeback there, buddy. Bruce Carpenter, you can meet us there as well. I'm serious, guys. I'm down for it, man. If that's where y'all want to meet up, I would do it. Your wife would kill you if you drove down here. I gotcha. Holy cow. Well, look, guys, it's an hour and 15 minutes in. For those few of you who watched me throughout the last 6 hours of today doing work, I'm kind of tired. And I know it's early to pull the plug on this thing, but I want to say thank you to all of you. I mean, literally all of you. You guys are so awesome. I have made so many friends, both virtually and a few of you, on the phone, and a few of you in person. And, between neighbors and just so awesome, man. It's just awesome. I have no intention of closing shop on Farpoint Farms. Obviously, the world is a changing place, and the shop might close on me. But Farpoint Farms will continue. I will continue. In fact, I have 56 videos already edited and ready to go. And I also have probably another 8 or 9 that need to be edited. So I could definitely, if I stopped filming right now, I could keep going all the way through Christmas time and beyond just on the stuff that I've already prepared for you guys. And that was kind of the plan. I'm going to continue to make videos. And then when this winter comes, I won't have that feeling about, oh boy, I don't have anything to put up. This is going to be a bummer. Because I'll have videos. I'm going to have videos for all winter. And of course, I might go back to 2 a week, Saturdays and Sundays, and drop the Wednesday ones. But for now, I'm going to continue 3, sometimes 4 videos a week. And I love you guys, man. Yeah, there you go. I'm going to say it. I love you guys. I do. There's going to be a lot of new stuff coming out, related new stuff. Like I said, I've got a lot more mechanic-related videos because I have been doing a lot more of that, trying to earn some extra money to pay back for the solar system, the 2,000 or 1,200 watt solar setup. So I'll be doing those. There's a lot of radio stuff. There's 8 or 9 CB radio reviews because I finally found a open flea market and picked up a bunch of really cool radios there. And there's also other stuff. I've got all the range tests for the GMRS stuff. I've actually been talking with Midland. They have a radio that's like an emergency radio that I want to pick up from them. So they don't have it in stock. We're going to work that out. And I've got a whole emergency preparedness thing that I think I'm going to go ahead and do. It's something I thought about when I first started the channel, and actually some of the early videos which got removed from YouTube talked about some of that stuff. But I want to talk to you. We started off with emergency communications, and I want to expand that on more things that you might want to consider for emergencies, because a lot of things are changing in our world, and I want you to be aware of that and maybe prepare for that, because that's a great thing to do, right? Brian Angel calls me the replacement for Wolfman Jack. Buddy, he was my idol, man. Like I wanted to be radio talk show host. I wanted to be a DJ, and I still do. And of course, I do it amateur wise. But I still have hopes for buying my own real radio station. In fact, I look at it sometimes, but those suckers are expensive. Anyway, guys, let's do the meetup. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Maybe tomorrow if I have the time, but maybe sometime over the week, I will put, like, in the community thing in my page here, I'll put a post saying, talking about that. I'll put the address on there, and maybe we can talk about meeting up. And, I don't know, maybe in late September, maybe in early October, so it gives plenty of people time, and I want to do that. Jamaica Dog saying if his wife goes to Boone this fall with the camper, he wants to meet up with you, man. Dude, let's do that, Jamaica Dog. Let's do that. And look, I'm kind of a quiet. How do I put this? I'm antisocial. I'm not like I am on. I am who I am on here, but I sometimes I'm a little nervous at first when I meet people. So don't take that personally. If you happen to bump into me, I actually do get recognized, and I've shaken hands and I've taken pictures with people before, and it's. it makes me nervous sometimes, but it's not a bad thing. People are always nice. It's always a good thing, but it's just a weird feeling for somebody who's a nobody to suddenly feel like he's a somebody. You know what I mean? So clap for the wolf man, right on, dude. Super B, what size shirt do I wear? 2XL or an XL, depending on how much I eat. Weaver says I'm a sheepdog. That is correct, sir. I've served my country, and I'm ready for whatever comes my way. But I also am a broken man from serving my country, so I certainly hope I don't have to be a dog. Let's do it, guys. I just, again, I love y'all. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Tyler wants to know when he can listen to my AM radio show. You can listen to the reruns on Shoutcast. As a matter of fact, if you look in the description of any of my videos, it has a link to a web page that will take you to the live broadcasts or retape broadcasts that I play. So you can do that, my friend. It's been awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much for all the support, all the friendship, all the gifts. I just got a great T-shirt from Dallas, and he sent me an awesome antenna that I'm going to be playing with there shortly. I don't want to give away too much, but he's also sending me some really cool stuff that I want to do. Yeah, Mower Junkie's asking me. I have not, and I would privately love to tell you why. I've actually been this week has been a lot of hours put in. So I've stared at it, but I have not had a chance to install it or play with it. I am excited to do so, however. Guys, I could go all night, but honestly, I do need some rest. So thank you. You are all my friends, and even my enemies are my friends, because someday my enemies' enemies might be my friends. I don't know. I'm just going to say goodbye. Take care, Rock and Rod. I appreciate you stopping by. All of you. Take care.